moment to show everybody some of the cool new features that are built into Google Classroom that I know you're starting to notice, which is Notebook LM and Gem. Now, this is just a custom version of their Gemini AI, but Notebook LM, I think, is more powerful. So what you can do, if you notice, I have my content here broken down by week. And if you wanted to, you can come up here, hit Create Notebook LM, and you will tell it what content you want it to create resources for, or essentially reference. So when I click on this, you can see I've got a bunch of stuff loaded up here. I've got some college-based books. I've got a 6th grade reading level book, and then their assignment. When I click on these and I hit Create Notebook, what's going to happen, and I can give it a title, and I will go on ahead and hit Post. When we go into this, and I'll show it to you as we open, your students will now have access to the reference material here on the left that you load up. And what's going to happen is that this chatbot is going to reference the material that you loaded for them to answer any question they might have about it. You also have the ability up here to discover or add new sources that it pulls from. So if you're not happy with what you have, you can go on ahead and do that. Now, I'm not going to piddle with this too much. I want to go on ahead and show you the one that I've already put together. So same thing I was just doing, the same selected content. You can see I have the 3 college level books and then their normal course book that I have them read. If I have any question for these, I can go in and ask it. And so let's just say, what types of mycorrhizal fungi are best for nightshades? Can I utilize these relationships to grow in the same bed season after season? Now, that's not directly in the book, in terms of there's no one sentence or one passage in there that's going to give you that information, but between the 4 books, there's enough information for the chat feature here to basically pull out an answer. And as I was going through this last night, everything was correct. Now, you can see when it answers the questions, it pulls up the references. Where in the book did it discuss this particular topic? And if you click on it, over here in the source area, it will take you straight to that page. So this is really awesome for directing students to the source, so they can go and get the rest of the context that they need. But there's more. This stuff over here is content that the notebook will generate from your sources. So if I want my students, like let's say I have a student in my 5th hour class right now who doesn't speak much English, this video here I created or had it create for me in Spanish, and it is simply a full review of chapter 3, which is what the assignment's on.
En esta guía rápida vamos a descubrir.
So now he has a study video 6 minutes long that just discusses the relevant information in chapter 3. Now, how did I have it create that? I simply go up here to Video Overview and I use the Edit button. This right here gives me my default languages. So it will create a video in any of this. Apparently, even in Java. That being said, right here, this is the most important aspect. If you have a bunch of sources loaded to the left, it's going to draw from all of them. But if you tell it specifically that you only want a review on chapter 3 out of this particular book and you want it to be focused on these concepts, it will do that. And it creates a really good video. But what's more is it will also do the audio overview in the style of a podcast. And I had it do that specifically on mycorrhizal fungi and what they do for the garden or grow space. And this
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are
was one of the
kinda
most
setting aside those familiar
amazing
bags
things
of
I've
fertilizer,
seen,
you know, the ones marked NPK.
period, because it
Nitrogen,
sounds like an
phosphorus,
actual
potassium, gold
podcast.
standard.
Exactly. We're
And
going beneath the
the
surface,
information
really digging
is
into
solid,
the
and
living
it
architecture
feels
that actually
natural. It
runs
does
things
not feel
in your
hokey.
garden and in agriculture. We're talking about the soil food web. And our goal today, our mission, if you like, is to bring together some of the latest, frankly, amazing knowledge about these symbiotic soil organisms, specifically mycorrhizal fungi.
Yeah.
We want to show you how they act as, well, essential partners for plants, helping with health, getting nutrients, even plants to get.
Exactly. It's often chemically locked up in the soil, the mycorrhizae. They release these organic acids, these enzymes, that literally unlock that phosphorus, making it available to the plant.
So the
Now, you can imagine that if you're an autodidact, this would be a great source. But it's also great because students can generate this stuff as well as you. So you can put together a source list for them to go through that you've approved, that you've curated, that's specifically about the topic. But if they're curious, or you want to do an extension activity where they're learning at a deeper level or asking more personal questions to their scenario, like my students will have to basically create their own grow space at the end of the year. It's their culminating project. Well, this has all the sources they need, and they can ask it any question they want, and it will be from legitimate sources, not gobbledygook off of Google. So you can see there's several other features here. The mind map is decent. I'm not going to say it's great. It will generate different reports and flashcards and quiz questions as well. And these, again, when you click on them, you need to tell it specifically what you want. Now, if you're not comfortable with this portion of it, remember, you also have things like ChatGPT. So you can just tell Chat in common language, hey, I would like it if my students had access to this and this, and I want this Notebook LM to do this for me and keep them from doing X, Y, and Z. When you have Chat pull that out, it will put the perfect instructions that you can just copy and paste straight into this. So really cool feature. The best thing to think about, or the way I think about it, is that you can finally ask your books on the bookshelf questions. That's more or less what's been created here. And then, yeah, I think you get it. It's pretty awesome. So I would definitely recommend it. Give it a shot. Play with it today if you've got time, because I think this is going to be really powerful to help our students do real research, or at the very least, get a little bit deeper into the subjects that we're trying to teach them.